Hello guys, this is Yinky. I welcome every one of you to my channel and I say a happy new year to every one of you. I wish you all success in everything we do this new year. Thank you for your support in the previous years. We really appreciate you. And today I'll be taking you through some tips in maintaining your sewing machine and some of your sewing tools. So I'll be starting with the blackhead sewing machine, and the major things you need to do when you are maintaining your sewing machine is dusting of the sewing machine, the oiling of some areas in the sewing machine, and also the general cleaning of your sewing machine. So I will start with the blackhead. Before I move to the blackhead, I mean the manual machine, then I will move to the industrial sewing machine. Then we'll finish up with the overlocking machine. We all know that if you can properly maintain your sewing machine, it saves you time, it saves you money, and it also saves you stress. So you will need to call machine repairers every now and then, because you will have taken care of those sewing machines. It won't develop problem. You also need to avoid friction. Friction is when like two metal meets together. If there is no oil between those metal area, it will cause friction and it will cause your machine to develop problem. So I'll be showing you how to do that. The major parts that are needed to be taken care of in your sewing machine is the presser foot, the bobbin area, and also your needle. Those three major parts is very essential. You needed to take care of those parts while you are maintaining your sewing machine. So let's get started. So we are starting with the blackhead, the manual sewing machine. So the first thing I will do is to clean the surface area. Clean it very well with your brush. So get a good brush, or you can use any type of brush. Just make sure the dirt is removed, and or also get a piece of cloth, a very neat piece of cloth that you can use to clean the table very well, and also the machine. Then this is the presser foot. You're going to make sure you use brush to clean off any piece of fabric, piece of thread that is hanging on the presser foot. So make sure you clean it very well, remove the dirt from the presser foot. Then from that thing that looks like the teeth on the plate, so brush it also. This is the tension. Brush any dirt hanging on the tension. So then the needle clamp, clean it very well. Clean it very well. You can see the dirt I just removed. This is the type of dirt you'll be removing that you'll see. So from here, check the bobbin case. This is the bobbin area. So this is the bobbin housing, the complete bobbin housing. So we are going to clean that part now. So I first of all you can remove it from the underneath like so. Just push your machine forward like so. Then remove the bobbin case. This is the bobbin case that I'm holding. Then the bobbin is inside. We also call it in Nigeria, the bobbin, we also call it reeler. Then we call the bobbin case shuttle. So whichever way, remove it and place it back. Clean it very well. Make sure there is no dirt hanging inside, so that there will be a free movement. So after I have done that, the next thing I will do is to now disassemble the bobbin housing. Then I will do this carefully. I'll first of all remove this. You can see the dirt present there. So this place is always dirty. So if you work very well, this place will be dirty. There's no two way to it. So just clean it very well. Clean it very well. Use your brush to clean it, clean the inside. Just follow it the way I'm doing it. So after you have brushed the dirt off, so replace it back. The way you just remove it, just place it back. But if you are not very sure of yourself, you can leave this part. I mean the bobbin, the complete bobbin housing. So you can leave it if you are not very sure, so that you won't disassemble it and it will be a problem for you to assemble it back. So but it's not something difficult if you can just first of all study it before you remove. So just clip it back, then put the bobbin case. Then the next thing to do now is to go ahead and oil. So you can go ahead and oil your machine. So the first thing you first of all do is just to dust, remove the dirt, remove the threads, and you can go ahead. After you have removed dirt, that is when you can go ahead and oil. So you can oil now through all those holes that you can see on top of the machine. Just oil to allow free movement of your machine. So just this area, lift up the presser foot. Just study this area because it makes your work very smooth and neat. So then oil this part. After you have lifted up the presser foot, it will be easier for you to oil. So we are done with the manual sewing machine. The next one that we want to do now is how to maintain your industrial sewing machine. Your industrial sewing machine is not far different from your manual sewing machine. So also that means it's also applicable to it that you clean the bobbin area, also you clean the presser foot, and you check your needle. Make sure you are not using a blunt needle because a blunt needle can cause more problem in your bobbin area. So after you have done that, you oil some important areas, which I'll be showing you right now. How to oil some important areas. You open up the bottom of your sewing machine. By the time you open it up, you will see those metal areas, so long pipes that like pipe-like structure there that you can see that you can put oil. Apart from the oil that is inside the sewing machine, you also need to oil those pipeline areas. Also, after you are done with that, check your belt if the belt is intact. So we are going to start by dusting the table, dusting the surface area of the sewing machine like we did for the manual sewing machine. Then after you have dusted, then brush it with your brush. Then use a damp cloth. Just put some water because the table mostly comes in white color. So you need to be very careful and take cognizance of this. Clean very well so that it will not be dirty. Clean with water. You can put soap sometimes, but just make sure the cloth is not too wet because of the oil that is underneath. Water must not get inside the oil that is underneath the industrial sewing machine. So that's why you must be very careful with that. So I'm going to brush this area also, the tension area, and also the presser foot. So brush it, then also the bobbin area here. But apart from the bobbin area, inside this place, this part is always very dirty, so you need to brush it. So the bobbin area of this industrial sewing machine is not very difficult. So you just brush, then you can, this part, there is always dirt inside this that looks like a bowl. Just make sure you clean it very well. You can see, in fact, this tutorial is for my machine because it's very dirty, all the work we did during December period. So I need to clean it. So we are just cleaning it. You can see loads of fabrics inside, the pins, needles. You can see it's very dirty. It's very dirty. So you need to do all this. You don't need to wait for a machine repairer to do this for you. So just clean all these areas very well. And after you are done with this, it is when you are done with cleaning, removing dirt, that you can go ahead with oiling. So I will take brush and brush the bobbin housing. So this is the bobbin housing that I'm trying to brush. Then I will remove my bobbin case like so, the way I did for the black edge sewing machine. So I will remove it and use my brush to clean it very well, clean the inside very well. So this is normal toothbrush that I use to do this. So after I have brushed that area, then I can put the bobbin case back. So I'll just put it back. No, it's not that difficult. So this is the oil, the industrial machine oil. It comes in this white plastic. So get a good oil for your machine. Be very careful when you are selecting oil. And these areas are where to oil. You can see this. I will remove the cover. So all this small cover, I will remove it. Then I'll get this case that I'm going to use this to oil because I have lost the one that came with my machine. So I need to get a better one that will be able to penetrate through the hole. So I've gotten this. I've put the industrial machine oil because industrial machine oil is different from the manual machine oil. So get that. So I'm going to put oil here, then I'll place the cover back. So I'll lift the presser foot from here, then oil the bobbin area. I'm trying to get to the bobbin area through this part. It's very easy to get to the bobbin area through this part. So do this before, like 30 minutes before you want to sew, because this area can stain the fabric if you did not do it prior to sewing. So check the tension, check the belt also. So we are done with this now. We'll move to the overlocking machine, and the same process. Just do the general cleaning, remove all threads, remove all fabrics. You know, this is an overlocking machine, so it tends to be more dirtier than the first two that we have done. So I'm going to brush all these areas, and I did not remove my thread because we all know that overlocking machine setting of the thread is very somehow difficult. So it's not a small thing to set the thread of an overlocking machine. So I allow the thread to be there. With the thread out, so there are some parts that has been labeled there on your sewing machine. If you look on top of your sewing machine, you will see oil. The arrow is pointing to a tiny hole that says oil on your sewing machine. That place that is being labeled oil, it means that you should put oil in that part. So check all the areas that has been labeled oil from the manufacturer, then put oil in those areas. So with all these few points of mine, I believe you have learned one or two things on how to daily maintain your sewing machine, that it will not require you to call the machine repair at all times. Until I see you next time, take good care of yourself. Bye.